All right, we have a line on this game. It's the Redskins at the Giants. This line opened up Giants -3. It popped up to 3.5 for a little bit, and now it's back down to 3. So who do you like here?
I wrote this game is gonna suck. That was the first thing I wrote for this. But I think I'm gonna be on Washington here, believe it or not, for a couple units. Now I know we were on the Giants at the beginning of the season, but that team has just completely fallen apart without Saquon Barkley. Their offensive line has been terrible. It's causing Daniel Jones to play scared, turn the ball over, and take sacks. Because the whole thing with Jones was he would progress if he was going to get the ball out of his hands quicker, if he was going to avoid turnovers and sacks and negative plays. And he hasn't done that at all because he's been under so much pressure. Washington has the talent on the defensive line, needed to pressure him frequently. Chase Young came back last week against the Rams. Him and Montez Sweat really should do very well against the two tackles for the Giants. Andrew Thomas has not looked good so far. It's looking like a big mistake that they passed on Mekhi Becton, Tristan Wirfs, and the Jedrick Wills. Almost forgot his name there for a second, but those three guys have been significantly better than Andrew Thomas. So another questionable top pick there. And then, the Washington offense, it's not that good. And if you take out Terry McLaurin, they're not going to score a lot. But if this is a low-scoring defensive game, they could very easily, find a way to win this by a point or a field goal or at the very least, I don't think they're going to lose this game in a blowout fashion. Daniel Jones doesn't have a touchdown since week 1. How are they going to score? So I'm on Washington here. And also thank you, Rick, for calling me the man. I appreciate it. Congrats on the win this week too.
Nice. Yeah, it's really amazing how the Giants have not lived up to expectations. There's a question from TJ earlier asking if I'm still a believer in the Giants, and definitely not. So everything went wrong for them. Their coaching staff has not been nearly as good as I thought it would be. Like, not that I had a lot of faith in Jason Garrett, but I thought that Joe Judge would be a lot better, and he really hasn't been. And Saquon Barkley, you mentioned, that was a disaster for them. Their offensive line has been terrible. Nate Solder opting out was really painful for them. And then Andrew Thomas, it's amazing they had their pick of the litter of tackles, and they took the worst one so far. Like, maybe he turns his career around and does better later on, but it's not happening right now. And then defense has, defense is not as bad as it was last year, which it's the only thing I got right about the Giants, but it's still pretty brutal. So the Giants just don't have anything going on for them. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL, and the Redskins have a great defensive line. So as you were saying, the Redskins should win in the trenches pretty easily, I think. And also the Giants have to play on Thursday night this upcoming week against the Eagles. Not that it's weird to say that an 0-5 team is going to be looking ahead to an opponent, but they have to have the Eagles are a bigger rival, and it's a tougher game. So I think they're going to have one eye on that game, especially coming off a brutal loss in the final minute to the Cowboys. So yeah, I like the Redskins here. I think the two most likely results of this game are the Redskins winning by 3 and the Giants winning by 3. So if we take the +3, we get the win or the push in all likelihood. So yeah, I'm going to be in Washington for sure.
Yeah, they just seem like the right side here. Anytime you have two really, really bad teams playing each other, take the underdog because, odds are that something's going to happen. Yes, Dan does not have a wife. This is my friend Dan claiming that his wife left him because I went almost have a 500 record. But he is not married, so he is fine.
Yeah. Well, hard to lose your money if you're betting on winning picks. I don't know how that happens.